Hello everybody, let's go sports. We are now on Lijiang. This is going to be second game of the night, but this is an entirely new series. So best of 3, and we are going to be starting on control point Lijiang. If you didn't catch the last game, we were running a pretty stable comp. I think that this is something that we're testing the waters on this comp. This is something that we're probably going to be running later on in the NECC season, which reminds me, this is not the NECC season. This is the UKY Bluegrass Showdown, a completely separate tournament. In fact, a lot of these teams are not actually a part of the NECC sort of season like we are. All right, to start out this is a pretty standard comp. Going to run that Who's James on Symmetra to start off with Blakeu on May, Toonie on that Lucio, and Carp onto Baptiste. Galvanijo is currently playing a lot of Ramatra. Without a Symmetra, Center Gold is going to be first onto this point, and it honestly might be a little bit to the detriment. They're having a little bit of trouble entering through that door, so they might be looking for a flank around. There we go. Those turrets giving them hell as they're having to go through here. That's not a really great wall, as the rest of the team is just able to walk right through it. A really good fight happening here. I think that a lot of damage is just being healed up for Center. That's a fantastic wall that just completely severs the Ramatra. Ramatra's going to use that Nemesis, and the no-die is going to go down. Going to get to half health, but that Symmetra beam just laying you. Not much you can do, and it looks like we didn't quite see it, but it does say that Toonie got a kill with the boop. Don't know if it was an environmental. I sure hope it was. All right, going into this next fight, they're going to have site control, so we're going to be able to play that defensive a little bit. No swaps. They did not swap for that Symmetra in order to get on a point faster or anything like that. Toonie looking for a boop. Oh, and got one. That was amazing. Does get traded. That's support for a DPS, which isn't something you're super looking for, but it hopefully won't lead to too much. It looks like it might lead to maybe the point being lost. They're going to get it to 28% before having to regroup here. I should rephrase that. I don't think that Toonie dying was the reason that the point was lost or anything like that. It just it was sort of the catalyst. It turned it from a 5v5 to a 4v4, which can just be a little bit different technicality wise. All right, now going into this next fight, we're gonna have the Freeze from Center Gold up, but the Freeze not really close on the other team, but Annihilation's both up and ready to just start hitting each other with haymakers. Ooh, a little bit slow. Toonie is not able to maneuver quite as well. That Blizzard goes out. Blakeu hoping to get some sort of picks with this. Who's James does get the Sojourn. This is in Center's favor. However, a lot of ults were used. The Annihilation goes out from both teams, and the Beat goes out from Ohio State here. Having to really just sit here and take it. There's not much you can do. That Blizzard goes out from both teams. Yeah, just hitting that Ramatra over and over again, but doesn't have any follow-up as Galvanizio, I think, was not alone. I think Carp was there. Ooh, Blakey able to take out the Sojourn alongside Carp. Fortunately, Blakey does get taken out. Trying to target the Nodai. It's just Who's James and Carp here. Who's James does fall. Looks like Carp is going to follow right after. That's a nice 56%. We're staying pretty neck and neck in this. Ohio State seems to have this composition pretty down packed. There's not a whole lot of holes that I personally can identify, so I'm really hoping that they can somehow. Looking at ultimates, the only ultimate that's really close for center gold is that window right there. We are 50 to Blizzard, but that can't be counted on in this next fight. We have no idea how much ult charge we'll get. However, that Sojourn overclock might be something that just completely takes out half your team. You never know. Honestly, it's kind of just based on how good that Sojourn player is. Very skill-oriented ult. As the team moves on to point, that's a lot of just slows and bursts, and the wall comes out, severing Galvanizio and Blakey, but both are able to stay alive with that no-dive from Carp. Absolutely fantastic save. They are still very hurt. They're going to have to play this really carefully. The wall goes up again, almost like just a exact repeat of the last time. However, Blakey is not as fortunate. Blizzard goes out, and Who's James is going to teleport behind, but it's just a little bit too low health. Galvanizio really just hoping to maybe last a little bit here and try and get that touch, and does get that touch, but maybe, yeah, no. Not going to make it to that. That is just the first map on this control point. Still pretty close. A lot of these fights are just a matter of who has site control and who makes that first pick. And so I think that going to this next, we are going to, I'm going to call it Night Market. It is Night Market. I'm the best. As we go into Night Market, I think that we definitely may see a Symmetra swap. Yeah, there we see it. The Symmetra swap from Ohio State side. Now, the reason that you want Symmetra on this map is because of the windows up top. The windows up top just allow for being able to just drop down in on the point, being able to, sort of get the jump and be a lot faster just because of how the point is built. So both teams will be running same comp here. Just it's going to be a matter of who can hit that teleport first. And it looks like that's a heavy lead for center gold there. Ohio State not even really able to contest that. It looks like they went for Symmetra in order to TP off of the point, or off of spawn, but not to TP onto the point, which is an interesting play whenever you have the Symmetra, especially on this map. I guess they just weren't confident that they could outpace center gold. That wall going up really blocks a lot of those heals. They're having to reorient to the left side of point. Wall going down makes it to where they can sort of reorient themselves now. The no-die is gone, and that ice is gone from May here. Ooh, the no-die goes out just in time to not get blocked by Maywall. Galvanizio cannot quite stay alive as much as Carp tries. All right, now it is just Tooney going to try and save Carp, try and get everybody out of there. All right, now, while that was a pretty long fight, Ohio State just capped points. So they're at about 15%, and really, by the end of this fight, they'll maybe be at 40, 50 maybe. Hopefully, center gold can stop them before that and play a little bit aggressive here. So they're gonna switch between this heal hold and then the speed just dash in. And ooh, that's really nice as Blakey was able to catch the Baptiste off guard with an icicle. And the freeze goes out, and it does unfortunately get Tooney, but the Sojourn falls. This is still a pretty even fight here. The Blizzard goes out. They take out that May. Unfortunately, this Blizzard didn't do a whole lot. However, the fight is won, so like if we want to, we can just say that the Blizzard was the reason that we won that fight. I'm sure you could you could argue that it had to do with positioning and things like that. But no, I'm just joking, of course. That beat and annihilation are going to be pretty big. If that window is placed in a nice spot, as we've seen, Carp has been really playing the defensive window for just the extra heals while my Ramatra goes in and is annihilating your team. I'm going to make sure that he's not even getting low. This next fight, we're definitely going to see a handful of ults. As that window comes out in order to try and melt that wall instantly melted, but is retaliated with another window. And there's the Maywall in return. Nice. Blakey again with these icicles. It's incredibly on point. Hitting these head taps and getting these early picks are incredibly critical. getting the right clicks from the Sojourn, and oh my goodness, that Mei wall was astounding. It blocked off 2 of their team, and they were able to pick off the tank and one of the supports there. Unfortunately, took some heavy casualties in that fight. What was originally a fantastic play turned into a pretty scrappy fight, but Galvanijo is able to hold it down. Just holding it down. Tuni able to come in and try and help clean up with this Mei a little bit, but it doesn't look like they'll get it. That wall goes out as defensive as it possibly could be. They do not want center gold to push them here. What a sequence of plays right there. That was an astounding team fight that went into a really aggressive push that just went into an incredibly scary backpedal fight. That was Galvanijo's Annihilation, however, it did preserve them points, so I would argue that it's definitely worth it. All right, as the team's pushing in here, they're going to be a little bit low on the ult side. That freeze does go out and get Galvanijo. Galvanijo is going to fall. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot you can do other than just beat, and that's exactly what Tuni did, and it didn't really work out. That's a lot of criticals that healers are seeing here, and there's not a whole lot you can do. Blizzard did come out from Blaiku. Unfortunately, nothing was gained from it. Both supports are able to make it out. Pretty lickety split, pretty safe. Tuni's gonna chill back and make sure that everybody gets taxis and things like that. Unfortunately, the rest of the team is pushing forward, maybe without team. Hoping to get maybe something early here. All right, now the team is regrouped, and Carp's definitely looking for that window. That window could be the absolute critical turn of this fight. That, ooh, or maybe the wall is, as Who's James Wall's in, is going to not focus that wall, as there is another entry in here. The no die goes out, can't quite save Galvanijo. That window is just gonna melt straight through him. The wall goes, really making this a massive choke. The no die is going to preserve that Mei's health a little bit longer. Hopefully with both DPS shooting that can work, and it does. Who's James gets the Mei, but nobody else can really be gotten as Tuni is down there, down a support. Nice. Galvanijo makes the ball swap and ends up killing that Lucio. Who's James getting the Baptiste. Or 2 really big players, that's their support lineup just down. Unfortunately, the Sojourn is in ult. That's a lot of damage. Carp is going to fall. Galvanijo is going to try and bully this Ramatra a little bit. Even in Annihilation, it doesn't really matter whenever you've got a Wrecking Ball just dribbling you, quite frankly. Nice, it's just Lucio. Hopefully we can get a steady kill. Nice, the Symmetra beam to finish that off. There's a support line down, and I don't think that's going to be another touch. And that's going to be the second map going to center gold. That was an incredibly close game. Just to recap, while we're looking at this third map, just to recap, at about halfway through that game, we get a really nice wall that kills, I believe, a support and maybe a DPS or maybe the tank. I'm not quite sure. We use that momentum, even though we have control of point, to push it all the way to a choke. We push it all the way to a choke, get another fantastic wall that kills the tank, and then instantly a handful of us die, making it to where Galvanijo has to ult and then gets a triple kill, I believe, with his ultimate, preserving the fight. We did absolutely astounding play right there. All right, I didn't note this while I was talking, but Blaiku has swapped off of the Mei onto Junkrat. This is going to help maybe get rid of those other Mei walls, but you're sort of foregoing the Mei wall yourself, so these fights could go a lot differently. The teleport goes to the other side. They're going to knock that Sojourn off the map. I said that this fight might go a little bit differently, and I'm going to say, yeah, definitely the fights are not as close whenever you've got Blaiku launching you up in the air. Whenever you've got just Galvanijo and Tuni just pushing you in. What are you going to do whenever the Ramatra moves at 80 miles an hour? That teleport is a little bit deep. I don't think anybody intends to use that offensively. All right, Blaiku playing Junkrat, so able to get back to the point a little bit faster. It'll be a hard point to defend here, simply without that Mei wall. But I think that, ooh, the Mei wall goes out from Ohio State here, and the Nemesis in return. That Nemesis end up preserving Galvanijo's life a lot in these wall situations. Being able to gain that sudden armor is, you know, really kind of a lifesaver whenever the Mei can really melt you. Taking a lot of damage there. Yeah, can't quite heal through that. That's just a lot of crowd control and a lot of just burst damage and things like that. Support lineup just having to hang back while the rest of the team makes it back. No ult super close, but oh, never mind. I see window. Carp has that window pretty soon, and is going to be able to make some plays with it. All right, they're looking to move forward here. They're going to amp forward. That window does come out. Oh, and is retaliated with another window. However, Blako and Galvanijo end up picking the first two off. Throwing out the no-die, just seeing the people are low health. Might be a little bit hard to hit Toonie, moving so fast around. Oh, but has to hit these shots on this Lucio. There we go. Blako is able to clean up that fast-moving Lucio. And the point is going to be recaptured. It did get to just a little bit too far away. Point's going to get recaptured, and it is now officially in Center Gold's favor. Who's James? Oh, I was going to say Who's James has ultimate because we're looking at Who's James, but almost everyone has ultimate. Carp is the only ult that was required to get through that. The wall is there, and that tire's coming for your support lineup. And what a wonderful 3K from Blako. Carp and Who's James instantly cleaning the rest of them up. That was an absolutely astounding fight right there. It didn't even happen. You know, in one fight you use the window in order to clear off the point, and then the next fight you use the wheel to keep him from getting on it in the first place. What an absolutely astounding just 1-2 of ultimates there. Still having 3, still having beat, Annihilation, and Wall. Incredibly team-oriented ults. Of course, Ohio State is going to have their own ults to use here, and they're going to want to use it really early before they can get shut down. But the Baptiste cannot. The Baptiste or the Sojourn, they cannot do anything whenever you're just getting laid into by a massive Ramatra, just absolutely slamming your team in two. Of course, fighting into an Annihilation is not something you want to do, but Blako says, I don't care if I want to do it, I've got to do it, and gets 2. Toonie's going to get that other Lucio. Fortunately, Blako does fall to the Sojourn ult, but it's just Baptiste here, the no-die, and then Baptiste, and that is going to be control point going to Center Gold. What an absolutely fantastic first map. That was incredibly fun. I think that maybe that Junkrat pick is something they needed for even morale's sake, just you know, a change of pace. This play of the game is going to go to the Sojourn. I absolutely believe it. The Sojourn was really good, and you know, whenever you can hit rails really well, it just makes it to where half of the characters are one-shots. Yeah, pretty decent play. Pretty decent play. All right, we will see everybody in escort question mark. We have no idea. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Gibraltar. I've not casted this map, I don't think, ever before. I love it. I love to not see the same 3 maps. I do think we'll be seeing a pretty, oh, I take it back. I was gonna say, I think we'll be seeing a pretty similar comp, but from what I heard, maybe some wacky things will be thrown out. I don't know if they're set in stone, though. I am, okay. I apologize, but this team composition has slightly caught me off guard. I do think that this is maybe just meant for noise. I don't know if this is meant to be real. But however, Ohio State's definitely is, as their defense and have to push out of the spawn. Ohio State is going to be running a dive comp with a Winston, Tracer, Genji, Ana, and Brig. A really interesting composition. I don't think that it won't work by any means, but it's definitely not something that we've seen before. You know, a good dive comp could be something that is a heavy detriment. Pretty similar comp, and good heavens, who's James is going to be busting out that Widowmaker, this sneaky Widowmaker, while everybody else pushes onto point. They're gonna try and take over the top here. Got Blako on that Tracer, trying to be pretty aggressive here. Just laying into that Winston. Toonie and Carp on Ana and Brig. Pretty similar sort of matchups here. I'm sure it has to do something with the Gibraltar map. Blako does unfortunately fall. Galvanizio kind of has to back up here, has to regroup a team. Despite being a dive comp, you are not completely invincible whenever you're diving into the enemy team. Especially whenever they're really, they've got a kind of a nasty defense in the form of Sleep Dart and Nade and Shield Bash from Brig. With such similar comps, they can sort of keep up with each other. Ooh, Toonie needs to get out of there. Has to use that nade in order to get out, but does get out. Ultimately, the goal there. Who's James does fall to that Genji. Ooh, the Tracer incredibly hurt. Not quite able to chase after a lot of these picks, but the Genji does go down here. Winston kind of backed into a corner. I don't think that Winston gets out of this. In fact, I would be quite impressed if he did. He is gonna ult, and so that's gonna be something there. Something was gained from that fight right there. So while he did make it out, it did cost him his ultimate. He's not going to be able to use that for sort of side control. Who's James is going to switch to that Sojourn and is going to instantly take out that Tracer. And there we go. Galvanizio popping that monkey ult in return, bullying this Genji, saying, you know, deflect this. Deflect these monkey hands. And then is going to transition, go for those subs. Is going to just start terrorizing the Ana and the Brig. Is going to get met with the other monkey, but it doesn't matter. Has to reload, but takes out the Ana. Tank for both supports. We take that trade, especially whenever it leads to this checkpoint right here. It is a little bit contested. Who's James is a little bit forward, but he's going to back up, try and play for this Tracer, being somewhat of a nuisance. Look at Blako, Tracer diff. As we move forward here, it's a decent amount of ults. Galvanizio is the only person that's popped that ultimate. Who's James is a little bit behind because of having to swap characters, but we've got Pulse Bomb, not something too great, but can definitely lead to a really nice support pick. We've got Nano, which is always really good, and then we've got Rally, which could ultimately be our big team fight winner here. Ults are going to be coming up for Ohio State going into this fight, so we should be expecting something big. Ooh, unfortunately does not have that rail. I think if that rail hits, it's probably going to be a pick there. Genji takes out 2, and then Winston's going to take out the rest of the support lineup. It is just Galvanizio, and who's James here? Galvanizio is going to fall. I was wrong. I think it was Blako. It was not who's James. Just waiting for the regroup. Hoping to maybe get a Nano Overclock off. Nano Overclock can turn a rail into a Diva ultimate. It is quite a heavy hitter. Having to terrorize these DPS off of your backline is Winston. The blade does come out. That is going to be a Nano blade. Blako does fall to the enemy Tracer, but and Genji is going to get Carp. That's ultimately not as much as probably Ohio State would have liked with as big of a combination as Nano Blade. You probably want more than just one. So that is going to really be in Center Gold's favor in the long run. Blake going for maybe a little bit of a Tracer diff. He's going to have to kind of play defensive here. A little bit hurt. Try and catch that Tracer off guard. Can't quite find it. He's going to join that team fight. Pulse Bomb onto the Monkey. The Monkey is going to ult in return. Everybody just trying to get out damage where they can. Playing really sporadically. Ultimately, it's going to be hard to hit your shots whenever your Sojourn, who's overclocked, is wiping out their team in the backline. Galvanijo does get a kill with ult. Blue James cannot quite get out, but this is a lot of ground being made. This is a lot of efficiency. While this fight might not necessarily seem like a massive win, there's not a lot of kills going around. It does get really close to second checkpoint. Ooh, nice. Harp ends up getting the, I call it the whip crack because I don't remember the actual name of it, onto the Monkey and kills him. Blake does fall to the Ana though, and Harp is going to fall to that Genji. This could be a pick on the DPS lineup for Galvanijo. I don't know if Galvanijo intends to get out. Ooh, can't quite find the Tracer there. The team is going to fall, but it is going to ultimately lead to a regroup 0.7 meters away. 0.7 meters is not something that is that big of a task. If you can get them off point for about half a second, it's going to make it to where you get that checkpoint, you get more time. However, they only have a minute to do that. In order to get more time, they have to do it with no time. They're going to have to hit a lot of shots here with no ultimates in the bank. Having to just get really aggressive on this Genji, hoping to maybe get a pick with these long-range Winston right clicks. Nobody else really able to aggress with just how long-range they are. Galvanijo about to get that ult, is going to dive the support lineup, is going to get that ultimately. Ooh, not able to pop the ult off. Blue James is the only one that got a pick there on the Ana. I take it back. Blake was able to take out that Tracer. With 30 seconds left, it is going to be easier for Ohio State to get back. They will be fully regrouped by the time that we are fully regrouped. Looking at Big Monkey ult from Galvanijo, and then maybe a Nano and a Pulse Bomb. I don't know how Nano will be used. I know that nanoing the Monkey can lead to just an absolute like rainstorm of lightning. Yeah, there we go. The Nano is going to go out. Galvanijo is going to dive that backline and is going to get aggressive. If your team is not healed, then you're probably not going to win. Blake does take out the Tracer. Who's James is going to throw that nade down, hopefully not get picked off by this Genji. Nice. Galvanijo is going to turn back around in order to help the team and is going to take out that Genji. They're going to want to look for a last touch here as Winston jumps on. It's Galvanijo versus Ohio State's Winston. They're just trading lightning. They're not able to really do much. However, Galvanijo does have that ultimate. I keep saying ultimately. So does Ohio State's Monkey now. Just two gorillas just hashing it out on point. Ooh, unfortunate. With Winston ult, just pushed everybody off of point, and unfortunately, a little bit of I hesitate to say C9. I feel like C9 kind of implies that you willingly walk off point whenever just moving them forcefully off of point is something else entirely. All right, going on to defense, I wonder how the lineup will change. Tracer is a very attack-oriented character, but they might still run that Tracer if they're running a similar dive sort of play. You know, if there's a Tracer in your back line, no matter what composition you're playing, it's going to be kind of difficult unless your team can effectively turn around and shoot. And quite frankly, if your entire front line is just like things like Monkey and I don't know, like a Genji diving in, they're not exactly going to be able to do that much. Looking at this, it does look like Who's James is going to, instead of play Sojourn or Widow, is going to play Torbjorn, and Blakeu, instead of playing Tracer, is going to play Sojourn. An interesting little mix-up of DPS here. I'm curious to see if they think that either just Who's James on the Torbjorn is so valuable that they just want that to happen, or if they think that Blakeu might have some potential in the Sojourn role here. With a pretty similar comp, except for instead of Tracer, they are running a Symmetra for Ohio State. All right, Galvanijo getting pretty aggressive while everybody else sort of keeping top. Can't really do much there as such a short-range character. Might be able to jump on somebody who's a little bit overextended, like this Genji or these supports. looking for that Ana, but is going to do more damage to the Brig. That's still a ton of damage and nothing to... I didn't mean to say nothing to, like, show for it, but I mean, no damage. You didn't lose anything. You didn't get picked off. Sorry, I'm slurring my speech a little bit. Once again, just Winston jumping in on the back line. He's going to get a little bit hurt. Ooh, got down to 36 health before could really get anything done there. Everybody having to back up and regroup without a tank. This is going to be a hard position to hold, but Blake has that rail, could lead to a really nice pick. No ults on the board yet for either team, so it's not something that can be counted on. They're going to dash into that bubble. Ooh, that Genji just terrorizing the backline. Nice, that Genji is going to fall to turret. It does look like Galvanijo swapped to D.Va. Galvanijo swapped to D.Va in order to try and maybe get rid of some of these bullets that are flying out. Which is just interesting due to the tank matchup being a Winston. Winston and a Brig, I will say. Ooh, maybe going up top to get some of those nice headshots, get some of those criticals. He's going to try and push those supports back, try and make their push a little bit more awkward than it was. That Torbjorn trying to hit those shots on that Genji, having to not use turret just because of the position that Ohio State is choosing to push through here. Galvanijo trying to push them back, just get that knockback, try and get them off top. The turret does go down. Blue James is going to have to reset that up. Nano is online. Nano could be pretty big here. Genji is going to fall. That's fantastic from Blue James. Really deep, and that's sleep dart down. Galvanijo almost has bomb. Surely looking for something big here. Both Galvanijo and Blakeu playing this top here, trying to just maintain control over the high ground. The high ground is how they're going to get onto this point, and they don't want to just give that up. Jumping down, boosting back up, and really just using knockback is ended up working a lot here. They did make that swap onto Tracer. The pulse bomb goes out and gets Carp. Unfortunately, the Nano is here, but will it be used? The bomb is up, but that's not really a great spot. Blue James gets the Genji, but the Tracer is still in play. The core comes out. Just throwing a lot of that core onto the Winston. Winston is going to ult and get right back up. Blakeu has that ultimate. D.Va has that bomb. And that's bomb out from Galvanijo. Doesn't get anybody, but the recall does. The Re-Titan gets the gets the Brigitte. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like Blakeu's going to get out of here. It was a really nice hold. It was a really, really nice hold, but unfortunately, it didn't quite get them enough time to just hold them there before they could get the first checkpoint. Not surprising. Ohio State is a very formidable team, as we've seen so far. The Nano still on the table. Could be given to Galvanijo here, or could be maybe saved for that overclock, which is still in the pocket. Not to mention just the rally. The rally could be used here. If we can drop them down, then the rally can sort of clean them up. That is D.Va out of mech. Galvanijo is going to be just baby D.Va for a little bit. Everybody needing to back up. The Winston is going to take out Who's James on Tracer. Trying to just get some damage in order to get that mech recall. Not really able to do much right now as a tank. Gonna try and throw this nade down. The rally comes out. Fortunately, the blade is gonna get Blakeu and Toonie, but Harp is gonna get the Genji, and Who's James is gonna get the Tracer. Galvanijo does fall. This is still a winnable fight, but they're probably looking to escape here. Maybe stall a little bit. Oh, it's incredibly close. They're gonna be playing for touches here. Just trying to stall as much as possible. That's the Sombra switch from Blakeu. Just trying to, jump on, jump off, jump on, jump off in order to wait for the entire team to be here. Galvanijo has swapped to a more defensive pick in the form of Mauga with that lifesteal. It is not enough, though. But Who's James is going to make it just in time to get another touch and going to throw that pulse bomb. I don't think that's going to get anybody. Blakeu is going to make it again. Just the longest hold you've ever seen. That is going to be the second map, so it is now 1-1. Next map is going to be question mark, probably Flashpoint, but we will see whenever we get there. And the play of the game is going to go to their Genji. He definitely had a lot of dive in and then just disrupt the backline plays. And this Nano Blade, there's not a whole lot you can't do with Nano Blade. Let's get stunned. Let's get stunned and slept and murdered. dies right there at the end of that play. But we don't talk about that. But all right, everybody, we will see you in the third and final match. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Game 3 of the Best of 3 series between Overwatch Gold and Ohio State. I say Overwatch Gold, I guess Center Gold and Ohio State. So now we are going to Cervasa. This map is gonna be for all the marbles. We are 1-1, and I'm really interested to see because we previously did not get to see the Flashpoint lineup, and looking at it right now, I'm ready for it. Who's James is going to be playing that Reaper, Cooney going to be playing that Lucio, Cart going to be playing the Moira, and Blakeu on that May that he's been running a little bit. Galvanijo on the Junker Queen. Similar matchup whenever it comes to tank and support lineup. The only difference being the speed. Sorry, not the speed. Is the Suzu opting for more damage from Carp. But the DPS lineup is pretty different with a more tank-oriented defense. I guess not defensive. I don't know. Just healthy lineup for center, and a more divey lineup for Ohio State here. Of course, they did get to point a little bit faster, so it's going to mean that we have to fight out of this door and then onto that point. James is going to try and go up on the top rope, and Blakeu's going to get that big wall. It does get a lot of them, but it's still disorienting. And he's going to have to fall off that point, opening for a really nice headshot. Galvanijo trying to maybe finish off that Junker Queen, and he does. Just looking for that Lucio, finding that Lucio. Nice, taking out the Kiriko. There's just 2 more left, and there they are. That is going to be the first point going towards, starting with a nice team kill. First point going to center gold here. Already having Coalescence and 87 to beat. That's not something to scoff at all. By the time that this fight ends, it will probably be around 50% just with the ultimate lineup if those ultimates get used. Blakey looking for that wall, hoping that Hank will run out and can't quite bring himself to do it there. Not quite sure of the potential of where the others are left and right wise. Throwing out that ice wall is going to block off that ram and instantly take him out. And they're going to push forward. They're going to try and cap off of this loss that Ohio State's had. Is going to focus that May. That May's going to accept her fate a little bit, getting the Baptiste as well. They're going deep. I've got this coal and I'm going to use this coal. God damn it! I'm gonna get some use out of this. Don't run away from me. And that is going to be, I believe, first point. They can probably get a touch, especially with the fact that they have a Lucio. But if they can stop this Lucio right here, I think that is just point. Looks like Galvanito cannot quite hit that knife, and it's going to lead to OT, but that wall is going to stall them a decent amount, but the wall is going to actually carry them over that wall. The Blizzard is going to come out instantly, freezing their entirety. Blakey going deep for this Sojourn here. Sojourn maybe just accepting fate a little bit. A wonderful hold. Like I said, if you can win 2 fights with 1 ultimate per fight and have 3 left over, that's absolutely fantastic. Starting this map 1-up. Starting this map 1-up is really nice. Having beat to counter this freeze could be big. This freeze goes out. Maybe it's got 3 of your people. You can't quite speed everybody out as Lucio, and you're going to beat. You're going to say, you're not dying here. Come, brother, this is no place to die. But I think that if we're looking to go offensive, you still got that Junker Queen ult, and you've got the Death Blossom. Nice, the big melee coming out. That's hitting a lot of people. The Death Blossom doesn't quite get a kill. Galvanito gets frozen. The beat does not get used, however. The beat for Ohio State does get used. Blakey and Galvanito go down. Probably not looking to invest too much. That is going to be Sojourn ult used in this fight as well. Alright, so just surveying the damage, you've got Galvanito used his ultimate there, who's James used his ultimate there. Blakey is about 65, and Carp and Tooney are pretty close to having both supports ult up. Sojourn ult got used, and Blizzard and Beat. That's 3 ults used in 1 fight. Ooh! And a wonderful little head tap there from Tooney. They're going to instantly push onto the site and just start bullying that May. Next is the Baptiste. Oh, the no-die comes out, putting just a little bit of stall on it, but not too much. And now going for that Ramatra. And that's, I don't know, I could maybe do the math, but that's 3 fights, or I guess probably about 4 fights, and you've had Cole in 2 of them. I'm liking those odds. Gonna instantly recap that point, and this is going to, at the very least, even this up. If the fight can go on longer, then it'll definitely take it to 99. But before this fight can even start, it's definitely going to be evened up. That freeze and beat is still here. I like this little hold. I haven't been taking note of this little hold, but the wall comes out, instantly cuts off Ramatra. That's a lot of damage going out. The Blizzard freezes the Ramatra, and so they're going to be able to just murder the team without the tank. Oh, the right clicks are so close to being massive. Who's James is going to take out the Sojourn, and Who's James is going to teleport right behind him, just terrorizing the support line. There's nothing you can do. There's absolutely nothing you can do. Just accept your fate. Just lie down. Lie down. Here's your handcuffs. Put them on yourself. And there's nothing you can do. That's second point going to center gold here. Only 1 more point is required in order to win. It isn't looking as great ult-wise. There's a very decent chance that Ohio State is going to take this next point. Just with having Annihilation, having Window, being incredibly close to Blizzard and Overclock, and then by the end of the fight, Beat will definitely be on the table. We're basically looking at 5 ults being viable in this next fight. So it's going to take a really good pick or a really good set of ultimates from center gold here in order to take this point. That's a really nice wall to start out. Blakey has been pretty on point with those. The Window comes out, which is going to stall the push a little bit. They're going to want to just hold off a little bit. Galvanito does fall to that Window. Really unfortunate positioning there. The wall is gonna catch even more. It's time to die or get out. Die or get out, as we say, and opting for a die there. Honestly, as May, with no real mobility, you know, what can you do? And I'll tell you what you can do. You can wait for that Toonie. You can wait for Toonie to speed boost you back to point. It's gonna be a lot faster than freeze wall, freeze wall. Now this Who's James Death Blossom. This Who's James Death Blossom. I'm looking into the future. I'm seeing a 3K in your future, Who's James. The freeze goes out and is gonna get some massive, it's gonna freeze a lot of the team, and it's not gonna matter. It's not gonna matter at all because the freeze just gets played around. Ooh, the teleport up top was telegraphed a little bit. It's gonna be point for center gold. That fight started with a Death Blossom into the enemy freeze, and that's got to be incredibly scary. But they were able to live there. I think maybe only one person died, if that. And they were able to take that point. It is 78 flashpoint. Gonna be really fast. These next few fights are gonna have to go in center gold's favor, or support lineup is gonna have to be able to wait for a touch. That's a really nice melee that goes out. I think that hit May there. Blake looking for a wall into a freeze. Hopefully that tank pushes into a really aggressive spot. Is gonna hit the wall. Can't quite find it. Looking for the freeze. They know the wall's down, so they push on, but you don't think about the fact that this freeze is going to stop you dead in your tracks. Oh, the beat comes out in order to save the May, and they're going to use it as an aggressive beat in order to push onto the point. The no-die goes down, but unfortunately, your tank and your DPS are down. It's just subs. They're going to have to back up. Like I said, it did make it to 94. Toonie is going to try and get out, but not fully out. If they're going to win this point, it's going to be with Toonie grabbing OT. It might be they just forgo this point. Honestly, not that bad of a strategy. With Flashpoint, the points are so quick. If you commit too much to this one, you won't have enough for another one. Whenever it's so close to just not being yours, you might as well just play for the next one. That is going to make it 1 point to 2 points. Ohio State still has to win 2 points, but center gold, if they win this one, it'll be a nice game. They did break that wall pretty quickly, and the ice is going to end up killing Galvanijo. Carp not able to heal through it all. Throwing out that damage. It's still viable. This fight is not over yet. Ooh, the wall does sever off Carp. Not able to contribute to this fight. Who's James maybe looking for a way out. Oh, the aggressive beat from Toonie. Time to get in there. Time to get in there and get them off of my point. The Death Blossom is online. The wall goes up. This is just a lot of damage that you're taking, and it's just too much damage for Who's James. Ends up falling in the middle of Death Blossom. Blakey 85, 94 to freeze, but has fallen. Galvanijo takes out the Lucio. Toonie still here. That was all really just a really big stall there. The team is now going to have to recollect themselves. A lot of ultimates were committed in that fight. That was Carp's Coalescence. However, Carp is already halfway to another Coalescence. That was beat, and that was that Reaper Death Blossom, which can be incredibly influential ults, and so it really sucks that they weren't able to get a point there. But that wall goes up and is going to really sever the Ramatra once again. Hopefully the Annihilation doesn't prove to be too much trouble whenever you blizzard the backline and you use Junker Queen ult to just go in there. Unfortunately, it's still a pretty even fight. That shield is going to be a pretty decent problem for Galvanijo there. Yeah, just unfortunate. You can commit so much, but just if one team gets more picks than the other, there's not much you can do. It looks like getting touch might not exactly be an option here. Toonie might be able to get it. But if so, it's going to almost certainly lead to Toonie's death. Toonie's going to get on and hit that OT. It does, like I said, lead to his death. The wall goes up. Galvanijo has to just play this point. Going to focus that support lineup. The no-die comes out, but not fast enough to save the Baptiste. But unfortunately, Blakey and Carp do fall. That point is going to go to Ohio State. It is now 2-2. Just like the series, it is down to this last point. This last point will determine everything. People are thinking about, is the pick I'm on correct? Is the play that I'm making correct? It needs to be. no matter what. For both teams, these next plays are going to be what decides the entire series. Looking at ultimates, Center Gold is not looking great in the ultimate department, but we know how fast that can change. It looks like Ohio State is going to back up and head up top. They want that high ground that Center Gold has. With plenty of big denial ultimates, like freeze probably coming out here. Yeah, and there it is. There's not much you can do, even in Nem form. Not able to capture point, whose James had dropped previously. We're going to try and slow them, maybe hope for a quick death. Ooh. Now, I did notice that Carp had swapped to the Baptiste so that the Moira isn't working, and I think that, you know, if something's not working, then you have to switch it. No real other swaps from anybody else, and I think that they're willing to stick this. Pushing onto point, they are going to have to fight through high ground, both left and right, with DPS and a Baptiste on the right. And they're going to opt for taking top. They're going to opt for taking this high ground. And they're going to speed on past all of that utility. Going to try and heal through all of the damage that's being thrown out there with nades and slows and stuff. Unfortunately, the overclock comes out and takes out Blakeu and Tooney. This is a lost cause. Time to jump off the map. Quick death. Now, here is where it really gets down to the wire. We have one fight left. If Center Gold does not win this next fight, then Center Gold loses this game and loses the series. They need to try and cobble together one fight win. They're going to decide to go right. They're going to say that, all right, they have that high ground locked down. Somebody needs to touch. Fortunately, Galvanijo is able to get past that wall and does make that touch. They're pretty hesitant to drop. As the entire team gets on, they're able to sort of just rain down. That window coming out is going to try and give them more pressure on the site, but doesn't do too much. Blakeu looking for a good spot to Blizzard, but really can only find one or two. The Annihilation comes out from Galvanijo here, gets the Lucio, gets the Ramatra, gets the Nodai, and gets the Mei. Lovely. It was, and Baptiste is going to go ahead and end it there. An incredibly scary fight. That was a necessary win, but no ultimates. The only ult that we can see in the future is Carp's window. This next fight has to be won into 2 ultimates with none. It's going to be difficult, and it's going to be quite a feat, quite frankly. All right, they're pushing up to try and take height again. This fight hasn't worked out great in Center Gold's favor. I'm curious to see if maybe they'll drop faster or if they want to commit to this. Yeah, they've decided to drop. It's time to drop. That wall is going to catch Tooney, though. That's a big support just off the table. The Annihilation is going to do a ton of damage. Blakeu forcing the freeze. Got nothing really Galvanijo can do. Stuck in that Blizzard. Blakeu falls as well. Who's James trying to 1v1 this Sojourn? He's going to have to pick up this heal and get touch. Tooney can get that touch. Tooney can refresh the touch timer. And Who's James gets walled. Don't know. Not able to get the touch. It is unfortunate, but it was still a really good game. A really, really good game. GG's to Ohio State. GG's to our players. Going to be Galvanijo getting that play of the game. I believe it. I think it's going to be this last point. Yes, this last point, this Annihilation was absolutely critical in gaining the point. Taking out the Ramatra and then waiting for the Mei, getting rid of the Nodai. Absolutely critical. Well, I hope that all the players had fun and everybody enjoyed watching that. I don't know what's in store for the rest of the week. You will have to fill that in. Not quite sure.
Overwatch games tomorrow at an unspecified time. Maybe not Rocket League on Friday because the opponent asked for a reschedule. I'm not sure yet.
All right. Well, we will see everybody later, and take care.